Pathway to psychological registration in Australia as of 2019. The Psychology Board of Australia, PBA, determined that to be registered as a psychologist, there are 3 possible pathways, which includes number 1, a 4+2 years internship program. This includes getting a postgraduate diploma of professional psychology, and it needs some form of master's. The second pathway is through a 5 and 1 year internship program. This is the European psychological model, and it has 1 year master's plus an additional 1 year internship. The third pathway is getting an accredited professional degree, including a master's or doctorate. There are provisional registration requirements, such as if you're not able to make the honors, you could get a graduate diploma, which is not as good as honors, but you learn the same academic content. Graduate diplomas produce group theses as opposed to an individual thesis, which makes it harder to attribute responsibility to a specific individual. Only 7 to 8 universities offer this alternative pathway. Western Sydney University, the University of New England, the University of the Sunshine Coast, Queensland University of Technology, the University of Melbourne, the University of Sydney, and the Australian College of Applied Psychology. You'll have to talk to an academics advisor about these. Macquarie University offers 3 master's degrees in psychology, including Masters of Neuropsychology, the Masters of Clinical Psychology, which lasts 2 academic years and requires 1,000 hours of placement, and Masters of Professional Psychology, which is generalist rather than a specialist unit and lasts 1 academic year. There are more offerings interstate, with a wider variety of specialties outside Sydney. So why become a psychologist? Well, Wesley Mission in 2010 found that the lifetime prevalence that someone would experience a psychological disorder was around 53%. The 12-month prevalence of having a psychological disorder was around 26%, and that knowing a family member or close member with a disorder was around 64%, and this increased to 77% when you added in colleagues. If someone knew they had an emotional disorder, 55% would not seek help. This was compared to a physical disorder of which only 7% would not seek help. This is because people might think that having an emotional or psychological disorder was considered too subjective, or it could be too expensive. Suicide and self-harm increased 5 to 10 times since the Second World War. The National Survey of Mental Health and Wellbeing in 2007 analysed an Australian sample and found that their results were similar to that of Wesley Mission. The lifetime prevalence of any mental disorder was around 45.5%, the 12-month prevalence was around 20%, and the number of sufferers included 4.6 million Australians and 13.9% children. From the Wesley Mission and the National Survey of Mental Health and Wellbeing, we can conclude that we can't meet the demand for all psychological disorders. Thus, there is a growing need for psychology graduates. There is some advice for professional training. These include start with the ultimate goal and long view in mind, and finish at the highest level as quick as possible before other commitments get in the way. This can be done by having clarity of purpose. Look outside of Sydney for more postgraduate opportunities. You need to do something memorable to get a job. Talk with people who are already inside the course to get a feel for what it's like, and remember that IQ has no predictive power beyond 110, and other factors are more important, such as motivation, passion, and attitude. Remember that there is a multiplicative effect, which can be summarized in the acronym BEST, which stands for beliefs, effort, skills, talent, and performance. In regards to beliefs, you need to believe that you are making a difference, because this drives motivation. In effort, you need to persist and have determination to improve and learn new things. In skills, one must have the relevant outcome, be resilient, learn and focus on continual self-development. In talent, have the ability, right temperament, and capacity to convert talent into skills and performance. And in performance, you have to achieve something and desire better results or outcomes. Also, one needs to look at the prerequisites for going into the postgraduate universities, requiring individualized applications to meet their specific criteria. Finally, if psychology is not for you, there are alternatives like the Masters of Clinical Counselling, which is offered by the Australian Catholic University ACU. So yeah, we ultimately looked at the various pathways to psychological registration in Australia as of this year 2019. Thanks for watching.